And what do you do for a living?
I have not been working for quite a few years. I've been dealing with cancer.
Television history is filled with moments that are carefully engineered to manufacture emotion. But every once in a while, something entirely unscripted, entirely real, and entirely devastating slips through the cracks. In the summer of 2021, a fragile but fiercely radiant singer known as Nightbirde stepped onto the stage of America's Got Talent. She sang an original song. She made the notoriously harsh Simon Cowell break down in tears. She captured the hearts of tens of millions of people worldwide. And then, at the absolute height of her newfound fame, the frontrunner to win the entire competition simply vanished from the spotlight. What happens when the world falls in love with someone who is quietly running out of time? This is our special investigative report. Today, we are uncovering the hidden reality, the private struggles, and the untold truth behind the sudden disappearance of Jane Marczewski. To understand the mystery of her disappearance, we first have to look at the magnitude of her arrival. When Jane walked onto that stage, she did not look like a superstar in the making. She was 30 years old, incredibly thin, and spoke with a gentle, almost ethereal calmness. The audience and the judges were completely unprepared for the heavy reality she was carrying. When asked what she did for a living, she casually mentioned that she had not been working for a few years because she was actively fighting a severe medical battle. She stated, without a single tear or plea for sympathy, that the condition had spread to her vital organs, and her medical team had given her a mere 2% chance of survival. The entire theater fell completely silent. But Jane simply smiled and delivered a line that would soon become a global mantra. You cannot wait until life is not hard anymore before you decide to be happy. The performance that followed was nothing short of a cultural reset. She sang an original track called "It Is Okay." The lyrics were a brutally honest reflection of her own life, acknowledging that it is all right to be lost, to feel broken, and to not have the answers. Her voice was hauntingly pure. As the song echoed through the auditorium, the cameras captured the absolute dismantling of the judges. Simon Cowell, a man who has built an empire on icy critique and emotional detachment, was rendered completely speechless. He struggled to find his words, his eyes filled with genuine tears, before finally leaning over the desk and hitting the golden buzzer. In that specific moment, Nightbirde was no longer just a contestant. She became an instant symbol of resilient hope for a world that desperately needed it. The aftermath of that audition was an explosion of unprecedented viral fame. Within a matter of days, the video amassed tens of millions of views. Her audition clip was shared across every social media platform, dominating the trending pages in the United States and around the globe. Her original song skyrocketed past industry giants to claim the #1 spot on the digital charts. Major news networks, talk shows, and millions of new fans were clamoring for a piece of Nightbirde. She was the undisputed favorite to win the $1 million prize and headline a show in Las Vegas. The stage was perfectly set for one of the greatest comeback stories in modern entertainment history. The public was eagerly waiting for her next appearance on the live shows. But then, the unthinkable happened. The updates stopped. The media appearances were quietly canceled. Nightbirde, the woman the entire country was waiting to see again, vanished from the public eye. Rumors began to swirl across the internet. Fans wondered if she was secretly preparing a massive new original song, or if the pressure of the competition had become too intense. Behind the scenes, however, a much darker and more desperate reality was unfolding. The grueling nature of overnight fame, combined with the physical demands of preparing for a live television broadcast, had severely compromised her already fragile health. The 2% reality she spoke about on stage was not just a tragic backstory. It was an aggressive, daily monster that was rapidly draining her energy. In August of 2021, just weeks before she was scheduled to perform on the live quarterfinals, the silence was finally broken. Jane released an incredibly difficult and heartbreaking statement to her millions of followers. She announced that she was officially withdrawing from America's Got Talent. She explained that the sudden deterioration of her physical condition left her with no other choice. Her health had to become her absolute priority, and she needed to focus every ounce of her remaining energy on survival. The announcement sent a massive shockwave through the entertainment industry. The fairy tale the world had been watching was violently interrupted by the harsh, unforgiving nature of her diagnosis. She had stepped out of the spotlight, not by choice, but out of absolute necessity. While the television cameras moved on to other contestants, our investigation into her timeline reveals the intense private battle that occurred during her disappearance. Jane relocated to California to seek specialized intensive treatments. Away from the glamorous lights of Hollywood, she was enduring grueling medical procedures, severe physical pain, and the immense psychological weight of a fading prognosis. Yet, even in the darkest chapters of her isolation, she refused to go completely silent. She transformed her social media from a promotional tool into a profound digital diary. She shared her reality with unflinching honesty. She posted pictures of herself undergoing treatment, explicitly showing the physical toll her battle was taking. She was determined to demystify the reality of chronic suffering. During these months in the shadows, Jane's writing became her final gift to the world.
Presenter, TV host. She penned beautiful, devastating poetry about mortality, grief, and what she called rebellious hope. She wrote about the agonizing contradiction of feeling so deeply alive in a body that was actively failing her. Her followers, who initially came for a singing competition, stayed for her profound philosophical insights. She created a deeply intimate community of millions of people who were all silently praying for a miracle. She proved that true influence is not about standing on a stage with a microphone. It is about the ability to touch human souls from a hospital bed. She remained a beacon of light, even as her own world was growing increasingly dark. The final chapter of this tragic truth arrived in the early months of 2022. The updates became less frequent. The messages became shorter. On February 19, 2022, Jane Marczewski passed away at the age of 31. When the news broke, it felt as though the entire world took a collective, heavy breath. The reality of her 2% chance had finally caught up with her. Tributes poured in from across the globe. Simon Cowell released a statement expressing his deep devastation, calling her an extraordinary person with an immense talent. The millions of people who had cried during her audition cried once again, mourning the loss of a woman they felt they knew personally, despite only seeing her for a few fleeting moments on their screens. But the story of Nightbirde does not end with her departure.
The reality is, she never really vanished. She simply transcended the stage. Today, her legacy is permanently cemented in the cultural landscape. Her family established the Nightbirde Foundation, an organization dedicated to providing hope and support to young women facing severe health crises. Her song, "It Is Okay," continues to be an anthem for millions going through their own darkest hours. Jane Marczewski knew her time was limited, and she intentionally used every single second she had left to leave the world just a little bit brighter than she found it. She taught us that miracles do not always look like survival. Sometimes, a miracle is simply having the courage to sing in the dark. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the real story of Nightbirde. If her journey inspired you, please share this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe to our channel as we continue to uncover the untold stories of our time.